Good evening and welcome to another engaging edition of your weekly tonic, Sunday Extra, from the stable of the News and Current Affairs Department of the OSBC Radio 104.5 FM, where we always make your Sunday evening extraordinary exacting. We promise that the first edition in the month of June is not going to be an exception, as we have, as usual, packaged it again, segment back segment, for your extreme delight. During the outgone week, Governor Adegboyega Oyetola presented 1.1656 billion naira bond in certificates to Osun retirees, says his government has spent over 43 billion naira on pensions and ordered for immediate implementation of 65 years of age and 40 years of service for public school teachers. Also in the outgone week, the state government flagged off the 14th edition of the Osun Food Support Scheme in line with its commitment to bringing succor to the people in banishing the scourge of hunger and poverty in the state. And during the outgone week, Nigeria and Spain signed 9 MOUs on criminal matters and others. The Independent National Electoral Commission last week raised fears over the 2023 elections following the 20 million permanent voters' cards, which are yet to be claimed by their owners. The federal government sent 640 soldiers on peacekeeping mission to Mali, Gambia, and Guinea-Bissau during the outgone week. And above all, Nigerians are looking forward to know who the APC presidential candidate will be this week, as the party holds its primary to either elect or through consensus after the extension of the closing date by INEC. This is Sunday Extra, reaching you live from the broadcasting village of OSBC here at Ilea Wije Okebale Oshogbo. First, let's have the main gist of the entire package. The state government of Osun remains committed to activities that will ensure a habitable and clean environment in the nooks and crannies of the state. The governor made this known at a program commemorating this year's World Environment Day. Sahid Adeboje has the story.
Today is another World Environment Day, and Osun State was not left behind in the celebration of the significant day. Governor Adegboyega Oyetola led an array of dignitaries to the State House of Assembly complex Oshogbo, where the program held. The governor, who was represented by the Secretary to the State Government, Prince Wole Oyebamiji, noted that the present administration has embarked on flood and erosion control to ensure that residents of the state did not suffer environmental-related hazards. He implored individuals to cultivate the habit of tree planting to prevent deforestation.
Government has spent huge amounts of money in the last 3.5 years on the issue of sanitation, erosion control, and conserving the earth that we live in.
Speaking in the same vein, an APC stalwart, Mr. Shola Oladipo, described the choice of this year's theme, Only One Earth Living in Harmony, as apt and appropriate. Mr. Oladipo implored individuals to keep their environment healthy, as it is the only factor to sustain an harmonious living.
We were able to control the flood at the Bodofon River Osun side by the watershed program we did there, planting of the teak trees. And since that time, you can testify to it that the flood has stopped, disturbing the people in the area.
The program climaxed with a symbolic tree planting at the Osun State House of Assembly complex, just as non-governmental organization donated 2 waste bins to the state government. Saeed Adeboje, OSBC News.
Osun State Chapter of Nigeria Institute of Town Planners has called on people to make efforts towards making the environment greener and cleaner by deliberate policies of government and choices of individuals. In a statement that the state president of the institute, Mr. Dekunle Gazal Agbola, and the public relations officer, Mr. Kaode Idam, the Institute of Town Planners in the state observes that the planet Earth is facing serious challenges of oddities of weather, particularly global warming, overpopulation, and pollution. The focus of the World Environment Day 2022 is call for transformative changes to policies and choices to enable cleaner and greener living in harmony with nature. The statement sees the efforts towards a greener and sustainable environment as ones to be taken seriously by not the government alone, but financial institutions, businesses, international organizations, and other major stakeholders in environment matters. Supporting the World Environment Day 2022 through the Only One Us campaign, Osun State Chapter of the Nigerian Institute of Town Planners lauds the state government of Osun for its efforts at flood control and refuse disposal, and calls on the people of the state to join in the efforts at making the state, the nation, and the world clean and healthy for all. The National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NACON, has announced the Hajj fare to be paid by Nigerian pilgrims for the 2022 Hajj. This was announced by the NACON chairman, Dr. Zikrullah Hassan, during an extraordinary meeting with chief executives of Muslim Pilgrims Welfare Boards held at the NACON Hajj House headquarters in Abuja. He explained that pilgrims from southern Nigeria are to pay 2,496,815 naira 29 kobo, while the counterparts from northern part of the country will pay 2,449,607 naira 89 kobo. But the Adamawa and Borno states, they are to pay 2,408,107 naira 89 kobo due to proximity to Saudi Arabia, saying the air tickets costs is the major difference in the Hajj fare. Following the announcement of the fare, the entire State Pilgrims Welfare Board executive officers and other participants appreciated the efforts put in place by NACON chairman in achieving this feat on behalf of the Nigerian pilgrims, most especially by holding down the Hajj fare below 2.5 million naira deposit despite the obvious challenges. In his opening remarks, Dr. Zikrullah Hassan reminded the gathering that all stakeholders do not have the luxury of time, and from experience, Saudi Arabia will not add an extra hour or once the deadline for landing is due. He, however, disclosed that the Commission has requested for more Hajj seats, but NACON is still waiting for a response. Hence, all states that we work with and exhaust the allocations they have been granted instead of waiting for more. The chairman urged others to send their staff to study the visa processing system due to recent modifications that were introduced by Saudi Arabia last year. Similarly, the NACON chairman disclosed that pilgrims will get the COVID-19 PCR test done at a discounted rate of 30,000 naira. The present political situation in the countries, especially as affects Yoruba land, no doubt calls for the intervention of all stakeholders, including royal fathers. For this reason, Osheluwa, the weekly Yoruba current affairs personality interview program on OSBC Radio 104.5, which tomorrow hosts a traditional ruler in the state of Osun, Badekunle Okunya Diogun, the Ebro of Iba, would also be opportune to speak on customs and traditions of the Yoruba race, as the paramount ruler of Oyo Kingdom, Oba Lamidi Adeyemi, recently joined his ancestors. As usual, Osuluwa will equally hook up with our contacts in the southern part of the country for an update on the activities of IPOB and ESN. Keep a date with Latif Agbola and his guest, Oba Adekunle Okoye, as Osuluwa takes the airwaves at the 1:15 in the afternoon on OSBC 104.5 FM. The World Health Organization has disclosed that the monkeypox outbreak poses a moderate risk at the global level. The Global Health Agency also noted that a sudden and unexpected appearance of monkeypox in non-endemic countries suggests that there might have been undetected transmission for some unknown duration of time. WHO said a case of monkeypox in a non-endemic country is considered as an outbreak. WHO stressed that while the West Africa clade of the virus has been identified from samples of cases so far, most confirmed cases with travel history reported travel to countries in Europe and North America rather than West or Central Africa, where the monkeypox virus is endemic. It should be that as of June 2nd, 2022, 780 laboratory confirmed cases have been confirmed around the world. The Ondo State Police Command has confirmed an explosion and shooting at St. Francis Catholic Church on Waluwa Street in the Owo local government area of the state. Reports has it that an unspecified number of persons died following an explosion and shooting that occurred at the church premises. The incident, which occurred today during worship, triggered tension in the area as some residents were said to have moved out of the town to ensure their safety. When contacted by journalists, the State's Police Public Relations Officer PPRO, DSP Odulami Ibuku, confirmed the incident. The PPRO, who spoke while at the scene of the explosion and shooting for an on-the-spot assessment, said details of the casualty will be communicated in a statement shortly. Meanwhile, Governor Adegbego Oyetola of the state of Osun has condemned in strong terms the terrorist attack on the Francis Catholic Church of Walewa Street, our local government area of Ondo State, in which several lives were lost and many worshippers injured. The state government, through the Commissioner for Information and Civic Orientation, Mrs. Funke Egbemode, described the attack as barbaric, wicked, and an act of provoked aggression against innocent people. Osun State government stated that the incident is both mean and inhumane to turn the sacred sanctuary of a church to a killing field on a Sunday morning, while expressing sympathy to the families of those killed in the attack, and especially to the Catholic Church and Diocese of Ondo and the government of the state. Osun government assured Governor Rotimi Akeredolu and the government of Ondo State of its support in any and every way possible. Therefore, pray God to grant the families of the victims of the incident the fortitude to bear the irreparable loss and for quick recovery of all those who sustained various forms of injuries. Governor Adegbego Oyetola has identified with the people of Oyo Town at the celebration of the life and times of late Oba Lamidi Olayiwola Adeyemi III, the late Alaafin of Oyo Kingdom. Governor Oyetola, who was represented by his deputy, Mr. Benedict Alabi, joined other serving and past governors, political bigwigs, and monarchs across the nation to celebrate the referred monarch who joined his ancestors a few weeks ago. Governor Oyetola described the late traditional ruler as a strong believer in progressive creed who remained true to his convictions over the years until he breathed his last. According to him, Oba Adeyemi was a visionary and an exemplary leader whose 52-year reign brought tremendous attention, peace, stability, and unprecedented development to the ancient town in Oyo and its people. He further stated that the monarch will be long remembered for his impacts, achievements, outstanding legacies, and remarkable service as a custodian of the rich Yoruba cultural heritage and traditions. Dignitaries at the event included the former governor of Osun State, Prince Olaguso Oyinola, the host governor, Engineer Seyi Makinde, and his deputy, Engineer Rauf Olaniyan. Osun State government has commiserated with the family of Mr. Israel Ajao and the Nigerian Police Force over the passage of the retired Deputy Inspector General of Police who died on Friday at the University College Hospital, UCH Ibadan. The state government, through the Commissioner for Information and Civic Orientation, Mrs. Funke Egbemode, also extended its sympathies to the good people of Olukmono in particular and Osun State in general over the demise of one of the state's finest national icons. The government explained that the death of DIG Israel Ajao retired is painful and a huge loss not only to his family but to the nation, noting that the late DIG was a committed and experienced police officer who served the nation diligently and passionately. The late DIG Ajao was the pioneer Assistant Inspector General in charge of the First Intelligence Unit, who also served as Deputy Inspector General in charge of First Criminal Investigations in later operations before retiring in 2010. His heroics were also notable in his advancement of the community policing agenda, and that his strategic contributions in the force saw him hold think tank positions, including serving as board chairman, Lagos Neighborhood Safety Corps. The Cross River State Emergency Management Agency, SEMA, has embarked on public sensitization to warn people to prepare against the effects of the rainy season. The Director General of SEMA, Prince Will Ayim, said this as a result of various predictions by experts about the upcoming rainy season, including NIMET and NISA. He said they have cascaded the efforts received from the two agencies through their local emergency management committees through the various communities in local government areas to sensitize the populace on how to mitigate the adverse effect of flooding. Unknown gunmen have killed 2 persons and abducted a yet to be ascertained number of people along Obo Ayegunle Ose Highway in Kwara South Senatorial District. The victims were reportedly attacked in an 18-seater commercial bus registered XA167MUN by unknown gunmen. Reports indicated that the gunmen shot into the vehicle and fatally injured the driver, identified as Akim and one Mama Ariye, both of Obo Ajegun town. Spokesman of the State Police Command, Okasomi Ajayi, who confirmed the bloody attack, said, on receipt of the information by the police in Ayegunle, policemen, vigilante, local hunters, and sister agencies raised their scent. The Nigerian Police Force has approved the punishment of reduction in rank from corporal to constable for Isaac Marcio, attacked to Ebonyi State Police Command. The officer was caught in a viral TikTok video dressed in full police uniform while singing, dancing, and brandishing an AK-47 rifle in praise of a secret confraternity. This decision, according to the first public relations officer, CSP Olumuyiwa Adejobi, follows the outcome of the orderly room trial of the concerned officer and a review of the recommended punishment for the offences of discreditable conduct, promoting secret cults, and violation of the social media policy of the Nigerian Police Force. Adejobi stated that the police is currently looking into many other disciplinary cases of unprofessionalism and misconduct by officers in encounters with members of the public. He added that all room trials are ongoing, noting that decisions reached at the end of such trials will be made known, as the current police administration is committed to a transparent, accountable, and proactive policing system in Nigeria. The Kano State government has enacted a law that will curtail the indiscriminate sale of explosive-related items within communities following the explosion that rocked the state recently. According to reports, Kano State government has constituted a high-powered legal committee under the State Secretary to the government, Usman Alhaji, to not only draft the suitable regulations against the sale of gas cylinders, but also bring recommendations on the desirable punitive measures against the menace. The State Commissioner for Environment, Dr. Kabiru Ibrahim Gesto, while celebrating this year's Environmental Day, explained that slowly gas cylinder explosions in Kano are becoming a yearly problem that need to quit petition. You are now welcome to Sunday Extra Proper. Sunday Extra Packet by Sonia Onoride reviews the Extraordinary Committee of Governor Yetola's administration towards the overall welfare of workers and pensioners as again manifested with the presentation of bond certificates to the retirees across government parastatals. His report.
Addressing the pensioners at the local government commission multipurpose hall, the state secretariat at Bere, Governor Adegboyega Oyetola disclosed that his administration is relentless in ensuring the overall welfare of workers and pensioners in the state of Osun. Describing the occasion as 3-in-1 epoch-making ceremony, Governor Oyetola disclosed that over 1 billion naira is being presented to 162 retirees across the government's parastatals, adding that his administration will continue to strive in making life bearable for the citizenry, as well as meeting the yearnings and aspirations of the people across the state.
Today, a total of 1,156,344,000 naira is being released as bond to 162 retirees, comprising school teachers, primary school teachers, local government staff, and those in the core civil service, parastatals, and tertiary institutions. Out of this amount, the sum of 656,304,000 naira is meant for 93 retirees from local government service, and primary schools, while the sum of 500 million naira is meant for 69 retirees from the core civil service, parastatals, and tertiary institutions.
The State Commissioner of Education, Honorable Oladoyin Bamishaye, expressed delight that the state remained the only state in the country that has implemented the presentation of bronze certificate for the retirees, adding that Governor Oyetola has transformed education creditably and lifting the profile of education onto a lofty height, just as the head of service, Dr. Olowogoyega Oyebade, reiterated the commitment of the workers and pensioners towards supporting the administration of Governor Adegboyega Oyetola, stressing that a good turn deserves another.
There's a transformation that is going on in education that we need to test out on. It is time to test out on what you have done. You have done wonderfully well, and I need to read out just 35 of your achievements for people to know that you have done so much, Mr. Governor. Number one, reversal of the single uniform policy. Number two, the reversal of the odious 4534 that was causing problems, and the restoration of 6334. Number three, restoration of single-sex schools. I'm sure the Commissioner for Information will thank you for life on that. But we have restored Baptist schools back to single age. Number four, the consolidation of schools that were unjustly merged. We have deconsolidated schools at Odeomu. We have deconsolidated schools at Iliogo. We have deconsolidated schools at Ibewara. We have deconsolidated Faculty and Unity that was not conducted.
The miracle of paying pension is still a miracle to those of us that are paying it. When you see a government that is not showing concern about the plight of workers and the plight of pensioners, such a government is constituting a nuisance and is violating the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Section 16 sub 2D of the same Constitution makes pension to be a social right too. So, when you see a government that is not showing concern about the plight of workers and the plight of pensioners, such a government is constituting a nuisance and is violating the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Mr. Governor, as July 16 is approaching, opinions are divided among the retirees and serving officers, including some descendants of Osun State, who is to inherit or have the final say on the family property. From the chorus answers of these people, they are telling the Oloriemi today, Mr. Adegboyega Oyetola, that the family property should be renewed, renovated, and be made useful for the people of Osun.
In their goodwill messages, Comrade Kayode Aliu, Comrade Jacob Adekomi, Comrade Kabiru Adekomi, Comrade Olasegun Lana lauded Governor Adegboyega Oyetola for prioritizing the overall welfare of workers and pensioners since assuming the mantle of leadership in the state of Osun, stressing that workers and pensioners would sincerely reciprocate the good gesture in ensuring continuation of good governance under the leadership of Governor Adegboyega Oyetola.
The event of today, like other presentations of birth certificates, represents the highlight of the contributory pension scheme. In other words, receipts of birth certificates by retirees signals their journey into the league of pensioners. While I congratulate the recipients of today's certificates, I enjoy others on the queue to be a bit patient.
Workers is there to do what of all for the governor. I move that I move signatures as a final endorsement for the governor. That governor, I will not assume.
This has been a regular ceremony. Issuance of birth certificates to people. And so anybody who thinks Mr. Governor is doing this because of the forthcoming election lacks memory. not the first time, and we are very happy.
I believe, very grateful, overwhelmed, and happy for the opportunity being the chairman of teacher in the state at the time when a serious, courageous, cerebral, and committed man like Governor Ishaka Oyedola is the governor of our dear state. I'm proud to be identified with you at the state and also the teacher. I'm very pleased to have you as our governor.
Also in attendance at the presentation of bond certificates to the retirees were the wife of the governor, Mrs. Kafayat Oyetola, the deputy governor, Mr. Benedict Alabi, the secretary to the state government, Prince Wole Oyebamiji, the chief of staff to the governor, Dr. Charles Akinola, Senator Ajibola Bashir, members of the state executive council, members of the state house of assembly, members of the national assembly, as well as the leadership of the All Progressive Congress from across the state. The ceremony featured the official takeoff of the 65 years retirement age for the teachers in the state of Osun, presentation of bond certificate to the retirees by Governor Adegboye Oyetola, as well as some dancing moments. Saya Onoinde for Sunday Extra.
To end Sunday Extra for today, here again are the main gist of the bulletin. The National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NACON, has announced the Hajj fare to be paid by Nigerian pilgrims for the 2022 Hajj. The Ondo State Police Command has confirmed the attack on the St. Francis Catholic Church, Owaluwa Street, in our local government area of the state, where unconfirmed number of people died. A Sunday Extra reviews the commitment of Governor Oyetola towards the overall welfare of workers and pensioners in the state of Osun. Well, that is our package for today on Sunday Extra, this first Sunday in the month of June. Tune to us next Sunday at 6 p.m. for a fresh edition. Many thanks to the audio officer Jumoke Olajipo and executive producer Abimbola Babatunde. My editor today is Nathaniel Oyegoke, not forgetting to appreciate Mitokwe Olayiwola for providing the most needed assistance from the sidelines. I am Ulushayo Babatunde saying happy Sunday.